Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Zara.
And I'm Kareem.
Today we're talking about The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, but we're not just summarizing it. We're also going to talk about our own opinions on relationships and how the book connects to real life.
Yeah, because honestly, this book is really relatable, especially when it comes to friendships, long distance, and insecurities.
So just to give a quick overview, the book is about Poppy and Alex, who are best friends but complete opposites.
For example, Poppy is more outgoing and spontaneous, and Alex is more quiet and structured.
And every summer, they go on a trip together. That's basically their thing.
But the story switches between the past trips and the present trips. For example, the chapters will say this summer or 2 summers ago.
Which makes it interesting because you know something bad happened between them, but you don't know what at first.
And eventually you'll find out it has to do with their Croatia trip where things between them get complicated.
One big thing in the book is relationships, not just romantic, but friendships too.
Yeah, because Poppy and Alex start as best friends, but over time the relationship changes.
And I think the book shows that even strong friendships can get messy when feelings aren't communicated.
Exactly, like Alex clearly has feelings, but he doesn't say anything because he doesn't want to ruin their friendship.
And Poppy also avoids being honest, so they both kind of make things worse without meaning to.
Another big topic is insecurities.
Poppy seems confident, but she actually feels really lost. She even quits her travel job, which was supposed to be her dream.
And Alex is insecure in a different way. He's scared of rejection and losing her, so he just keeps everything into himself.
And because of that, neither of them fully says how they feel, which causes a lot of tension.
I feel like that is realistic though, because a lot of people struggle with being honest in relationships.
Another thing we noticed is nostalgia.
Yeah, because their story keeps on going back into their past trips.
And those memories show how close they used to be, which makes their current situation kinda sad.
It's kind of like that they're holding on to their past when they should really be focused on what's going on currently.
And I think the vacations kind of act as an escape for them, like a way to avoid real problems.
So overall, what did you like about the book?
I liked how realistic it felt, like the miscommunication, the awkwardness, the insecurity, it all felt real.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't feel like one of those fake love stories. It really showed the complications and all the problems that really go through a real life relationship.
And I think the main takeaway is that communication is really important.
Because if you don't say what you truly feel, things could fall apart even if you really like the person.
Exactly. And also that insecurity can really affect your relationships if you don't deal with it.
I agree. That's why many people say that communication is key. Yeah, also, I think something interesting is how the book really shows that timing matters in a relationship.
Yeah, like even if two people care about each other, if they're not on the same page at the same time, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that literally is happening with them. They both have feelings that need to be expressed, but they don't talk about it when it matters.
And instead of talking things out, they kind of avoid it, which just makes everything worse over time.
Also, another thing that really plays a role is their long distance friendship. They only get to see each other once a month every year.
And when you see people for short periods of time, it's easy to ignore problems and just focus on having fun.
But when something really serious happens, like in Croatia, they don't really know how to come across it.
Exactly, because they're not used to having those deeper conversations in real time.
I also think the nostalgia that we talked about makes it a lot harder for them to move on.
True, because they keep thinking about how good things used to be instead of accepting how things have changed.
Which is honestly what a lot of people do in real life.
Exactly. Like sometimes people hold on to memories instead of facing what's actually happening.
So overall, the book is really showing that often relationships take a lot of time, effort, communication, and honesty.
and that avoiding your feelings, whether it's because of insecurity or fear, usually just leads to more problems.
Exactly. Thank you all for listening to our podcast, and we'll see you next time.